Oh my Plarium, what are we doing here? We're reviewing every single new epic being introduced to this game here. From the test server, we had amazing reviews for the legendaries so far, and then you did this. Let's go. What up team, MurderInc here, back again with another Raid Shadow Legends video coming at you from the test server today. Listen, Plarium did so well. I just praised them, and what did they do? Gave me the backhand. They gave me straight up the backhand here. Let's just go. We're going to talk about the 4 new epics here. We have Andryssiam. This is kind of like a female Theresc. She looks incredible. Defense-based epic. High elf here. Shield incredible, armor incredible, the helmet I like how it's kind of draped in the back there. We have a nice face mask, and the weapon awesome. But now let's talk about the kit. Attacks one enemy, has a 40% chance of placing decreased crit damage for 2 turns. What? Decreased crit damage, the most useless buff in the game? Murder, why is decreased crit damage useless? Because PvE content has baseline a 15% crit rate, so you're going to reduce all of their crit damage, assuming they crit 15% of the time, 30% chance if it's strong affinity on your team. This champion's so bad, on the test server, there's not even an icon for this champion. Look at this. We have Srtimage with a default word over it. Anyways, Mind Prison, next ability, attacks one enemy. Why one enemy? Has a 75% chance of placing a stun debuff for 1 turn if the target has no active buffs. Has a 75% chance of placing a stun debuff for 2 turns if the target does have any active buffs. What if they have a block debuff? Boom. Goes up to 100% chance, of course, once fully booked onto a 3-turn cooldown. Already a worse version of Theresc by a mile here. Moving into the A3, attacks all enemies, has a 75 up to 100% chance if fully booked of decreasing the duration of all enemy buffs by 2 turns. Increase the duration of all ally increased defense buffs by 1 turn. Oh, you know what would have been great? If this champion had an AoE increased defense buff, but it doesn't. Murder, it doesn't make sense. What are we missing here? The passive. Surely this is incredible. So let's take a look at the top right here. As we can see, a 5-turn cooldown. What were you thinking? At the start of each turn, place a 50% ally protection buff for 2 turns on the ally with the lowest HP. Will not be placed on this champion, so it's kind of like a net crit, but it sucks. Also places a 25% strengthen increased defense buff on this champion for 2 turns. So this could have been really cool if it was a 1-turn or a 0-turn cooldown. And it wouldn't have been too strong. If you're thinking it would have been too strong, you're wrong. So we have strengthen, increased defense on this champion for 2 turns. It's going to run out without any chance of booking. It's going to be gone for 3 turns right off the bat. Ally protection for 2 turns on 1 ally. Like I said, 5-turn cooldown. This is going to increase the duration of increased defense on this champion, because that's the only place it's applied to from this champion, by 1 turn, making this a 3-turn increased defense solo champion. Who designed this? I want to know. I'm writing down names, okay? So I didn't build this champion. I'm not going to build this champion. There's nothing talking about this. If you get this champion, enjoy your 4-star chicken. The fact that this is a void, it blows my mind. How they could have missed the mark so hard here. Maybe you guys see something I don't. Maybe I'm being too judgmental and harsh on this, but it just looks terrible to me. The next champion, Theresc. Now, like the Force Affinity Dwarf that's a legendary, we're getting a new addition to the game, which is going to be an A3 ability called Decreased Resistance, which is cool. Almost. Why is it almost cool? Because it's a 50% chance of placing this awesome new debuff, and the books only increase the chance to 75%. Why? Why are we adding RNG to the game with a brand new debuff like this? And one thing to note here, how are you going to place this debuff on a champion that's stacking resistance? It seems a little bit hard, don't you think? What would be an awesome thing to have on this champion? Increase accuracy. A2. Each hit has a 40% up to a 60% chance of removing one random buff from the target. This is not terrible. It's a single hit though, it's not an AoE, and who cares about stealing one buff, right? I mean, it can steal up to 3, but still. The A1 attacks one enemy twice. Each hit has a 25 up to a 45% chance of increasing the duration of a random debuff by 1 turn. Nothing crazy again, so the passive surely has increased accuracy. Inflicts 10% more damage against target whose resistance is lower than this champion's accuracy. So it's telling you to stack accuracy, not only to stack accuracy, to outstack a champion that probably has increased resistance on them because it's going to be introduced into the game. Now, you wouldn't need a decreased resistance debuff if they don't have increased resistance debuff, because all things in this game synergy-wise work in balancing. So why did they not give this champion increased accuracy? Am I harping too much on this? I really don't think so. It should be very simple to add something like this to the game, but they missed the mark. To make it even worse, it's a 75% chance to land. You can get it up to 80% chance with the masteries. Another champion that I did not waste my time building because it's like they spent all of their brain power on the legendaries because they were incredible. Absolutely incredible. And then as soon as they came to the epics, they were like, what abilities do we have left? Throw them together. Doesn't make sense. They won't notice. Just kind of like when you go to a fast food restaurant and you hit the drinks and put everything into one drink. Just do that with the champions. Anyways, you'd have to be crazy to want to build these guys. This one is the only one that I think is okay, kind of. His looks, first of all, looks pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, looks pretty dang cool. Bannerlord. We got black armor here. I like the plume on his head for sure. We have Srtimage. Now, the name is kind of weird, in my opinion. Artimage, why? Artimage, I don't know. Anyways, the A1 ability, this is the best part of his kit, in my opinion, which is already a bad sign. A1 defense down and decreased speed with a 50% chance once fully booked. That's a really strong A1, so that I can't deny. First hit, of course, being the defense down, the second hit being decreased speed, so I like this a lot already. The A2 has potential. This is straight up removes all debuffs from this champion, then attacks all enemies. So this is a 3-turn cooldown once booked. AoE. AoE screams stun set. We all know that, but he can hit pretty hard. The reason why I think it can hit pretty hard is, well, of course, the multipliers will be out by the time I'm talking about this, but attacks one enemy on a 4-turn cooldown, will ignore 30% of the target's defense, places 50% increased attack and 30% increased crit damage buff on this champion. If it kills an enemy, these buffs cannot be removed. So like I said, I think this champion's the only one that's pretty decent. Increases speed in arena battles by 20. Could be a good grab if you don't have a speed aura for your arena team. So we have an AoE nuker, we have really strong debuffs here, and the A3 is okay. It ignores defense, has these 2 buffs that can't be stripped if it kills an enemy. Big if there, we don't know how hard it hits yet. But this kind of gives me Stagnite vibes as far as the A1 goes, so this has potential as far as PvE usage for progression. As far as endgame goes, don't even look at this, just don't. Which is why I'm leaning more towards a stun set for this guy, having the option to place decreased speed, decreased defense, and a stun on an A1, AoEing to also apply that stun, and of course the slower they are, the longer they stay stunned, and decreased defense, of course, is going to make them take more damage. Maybe they can kill with this ability, so I like this guy in a stun set a lot if you did want to build him that way. So with that being said, if this is the best, what do we have as the last epic here? We have Fylja. Fylja. I'm going to use it as an H. Fylja, whatever. Okay, so she looks interesting. I mean, kind of like a typical dwarf. The hair in the back looks cool. The weapon looks like the same weapon from the legendary, but anyways, I think she looks pretty cool. They definitely, I mean, listen, their art team's good. I can't ever talk about that, but I can certainly rip apart their skills. So we have an A1 attacks twice, decreases the target's max HP by 10%. Cannot decrease a single enemy's max HP more than 50%. Okay, so hey, this could be a great champion for Scarab, right? Attacks one enemy, has a 75% chance of depleting the target's turn meter. Sick. 5 turn cooldown, 100% chance, goes to a 4 turn cooldown once booked. So we have 7 books so far. Not too bad. Attacks all enemies, flows this champion's turn meter by 15% and heals them by 15% of the damage inflicted if this attack is a critical. What? Why? Like, why? This is like the most average skill I've ever seen in my life. Attacks all enemies. Okay, we like skills like that. Not random, not single target, this is good. Fills this champion's turn meter by 15%. Not per target, just 15%. That's like nothing, and it doesn't increase with the books either. And then heals them by 15% of the damage inflicted. Only if it's a crit. So now you have to crit cap this champion to get half the quality of a heal that lifesteal gives. Anyways, you can book it to a 3 turn cooldown, you can increase the heal by 20%, damage by 20%, so it's not quite half, but they could have done so much more. The passive now. If this champion has 2 or fewer buffs at the start of the turn, places increased attack and increased crit damage buff on the champion for 1 turn. Okay, so she's a damage dealer now. She has heavy accuracy utility here, attack based, great. Then you have increased attack and increased crit damage. I could be too critical because I expected a lot from looking at the legendaries. Maybe this champion isn't as bad as I'm making it out to be, but the A3 and the passive just don't make sense to me. I don't value increased attack high, I don't value increased crit damage high, so it is what it is. If you can figure out a way to use this champion, I don't even want to say faction wars. Like I said, I'm pretty sure Scarab is an option here if you put her in a destroy set, just to make sure the A3 is doing something as well. I don't think she has enough self-sustain. And since it's only 10% of the damage, she would have to be doing crazy damage to get away with this. And is she tanky enough? No. 14,000 base HP, 104 speed is nice, 1,000 base defense. I don't think she's soloing anything, being honest with you guys, but maybe she can solo the Scarab if affinity allows and all of that stuff, but I don't personally see it. So those are the epics. I am going to take them into, actually, I should do that just to show you guys the animations. In case the animations look really cool, it's never going to justify the fact that they suck, but I will show you the animations because we are here for aesthetics and we like aesthetics. All right, team, so here we are in the campaign. Let's have a look at these champions' animations. Starting off strong, we have the dwarf, the highest base speed, righteous, and vocation. Okay, kind of like the legendary. I like that new effect for sure here. Now we have attacks one enemy, attacks all enemies. Let's go for the double AoE. Anything special? Okay, kind of like a purple Ithos type effect. Not bad. Now we have this A1 ability. What do we got? Okay, typical zap. Let's look at this. Just an overhead slash here. Attacks all enemies. Let's have a look. We've all seen that before. Ignores defense. Once again, nothing special for sure. Now they get a turn. Let's cycle back through the A1. What does it look like? A double zap. And okay, we saw that. Now this skill attacks one enemy 3 times. Anything cool? Nope. Just an arrow shot. So not only do the kits leave a lot to be desired. I mean, okay, her animations aren't bad. This void, what could have been incredible Tyrell, not good. This is just an arrow. I mean, I guess the visuals are pretty cool on that. This is the remove debuff in AoE. Let's see if we have something here. Hey, listen. This is why I said this guy was going to be good. They always do this. We're logging people now. I was a huge fan of the bears. People said the battle pass bears were terrible. I said, who cares? We logging. And Srtimage, even though the name is really stupid in my opinion, he's got a log ability. So what are we going to do here? We're going to edit team. We're going to get those guys out. We're going to put him back in, and we're going to straight up log someone again here. Let's go. This doesn't matter. Attacks enemies 2 times, 3 times. Okay, that was kind of cool, but we log in. Let's go. Drop in logs. Okay, that's all I really wanted to see. Don't want to say it again because the champion, we already know. So listen, that's going to conclude this video on the test server here. What do you guys think? Are you guys disappointed as I am? Do you think I'm too critical about it? I hate to be critical, but like I said, we were just so wowed by the legendaries, and then this happens and it's like, why not just do the job right all the way through, from legendaries all the way through to epics? Why make the legendaries incredible, then leave so much to be desired for the epics? Because epics really speak to the majority of the player base, right? And that should be where the most focus is in pretty much all new releases, and we're not seeing that right now. So that's my kind of biggest qualm right now with what we're experiencing on the test server. And I think they just did a really bad job, and they rushed out the epics. And every company makes mistakes. They're certainly not perfect. No company is, but this is one of the exceptions in my opinion, because I think it was a very poor showing overall as far as the epics are concerned. So give me your thoughts, give me your feedback. If you enjoy this content, smash that like button, subscribe, turn the notification bell, and I will see you all in my next upload.